Nearly 6 months after a high-profile shooting in Denver's lower downtown, a grand jury indicts one of the police officers who opened fire.
Now, police were trying to stop a man with a gun, but they wounded 6 bystanders in the process. This happened last summer as people were leaving bars in that busy part of town. A man with a gun was spotted in the crowd and police moved in. Now, the DA's office announced charges today against Officer Brandon Ramos. He is the only officer charged in this case. Our Karen Morfitt has reaction from those victims and also the police union. And Karen, the union says it stands by their officer.
Exactly, Ellen. They say that that officer responded the way he was trained. The mayor here in Denver also issuing a statement today saying that he was surprised by the grand jury that they found the officer's actions involved criminal intent. But the victims and their attorneys say this doesn't involve intent at all.
Months have passed since Yakalo Waldawiyahits was shot in the arm.
I wish that night never happened.
Despite the bullet shattering a bone, he says physically he's on the road to recovery.
Bone could heal.
Mentally, he says he's struggling.
Even sleeping, just having anxiety attacks out of nowhere.
Denver police officers attempting to make an arrest outside a Denver bar fired their weapons when their suspect pulled a gun from his hoodie. Body camera video shows 2 of those officers facing the suspect and a building when they shot, and a third officer, Brandon Ramos, firing from the side, hitting Waldawiyahits and several others who were on the sidewalk in the distance.
The whole point of their training is to understand what's behind their target.
A grand jury has since indicted Officer Ramos on charges of assault and reckless endangerment, saying that after reviewing the evidence, they do not believe his decision to fire was justified, instead calling it reckless and unnecessary to protect himself or other officers. Tyson Worrell, president of the Denver Police Union, says they disagree with that decision.
To charge this officer with a felony crime, jeopardizing his career, liberty, for acting as he was trained, in the public interest with no malice, ill intent or lack of concern, is unfortunate and sad.
And they will stand with and defend their officer.
This all could have been avoided if the suspect simply would have stopped and showed his hands.
Waldawiyahits sees the indictment as a step forward.
This is something that everybody who is in my position would want, right? For somebody, even as a police officer who is not above the law, to be accountable for their actions.
Now, the suspect that police were trying to arrest that night, Jordan Waddy, was hit as well but survived and is now charged with 3 counts of possession of a firearm by a previous offender and 1 count of third-degree assault. Officer Ramos has been suspended without pay, which is standard protocol, until this case is completed. We're live tonight in Denver. Karen Morfitt covering Colorado First.